Hi everyone, this is CY once again. Thank you for joining me today. Anyway, if you're first time joining my channel, right, my channel is all about having fun making coffee. And today I'm going to unbox a coffee scale, espresso scale from the company called Felicita, right? Its scale looks something like this, which is a smart scale, which is very similar to the Acaia scale. So I'm just going to unbox this and show you guys how do I feel about this particular scale. How does it compare to the Acaia Lunar scale, right? So stay tuned, we shall be doing the unboxing. And you have not. And hope you can like my video later on, right? So let's do the unboxing now. Right, so this is how the box looks like actually. Okay, let me grab a pen knife. This is a brand new set. We are not sponsored by Felicita. So this is we purchased this ourselves, right? And I believe this is actually an espresso scale, right? Which is actually manufactured in Dongguan, in Guangdong, China. Suppose we have an app that's connected to this, right? They say the ARC is designed for espresso coffee machine with durable aluminium design. It's aesthetically pleasing and ready to help you extract the proper espresso shot. Great water resistance, incredibly fast response and accuracy, and different multifunctional modes will perfectly match with your coffee machine. So that's what they say. There's a built-in stopwatch. Capacity is 2 kilogram. Readability is up to 0.1. It has water protection, and it has a weight, time, and dual display, which is actually similar to the Acaia Lunar. It has a mobile app compatible, and it's USB rechargeable, which is almost the same as the Acaia Lunar scale. So let's just quickly unbox this and see how it looks like. Right, so you can see this is a brand new set. It is not open. Right, so let's open this. Right, comes with a so-called user manual, right? It states ARC 高性能智能咖啡秤使用手册. This is a user manual from the Felicita ARC. Let me see. Apparently, the manual comes in Chinese. So if you are, I'm not too sure whether they print this in English. But I'll read through this and tell you guys later on what is this all about. This is, I think, some sort of a foam padding to protect the scale. Oh, haha. The scale is actually slightly larger than the Acaia Lunar. Right, so I think there's some sort of a protection at the side. So this is pretty nice. And the finishing touch is almost the same as the Acaia Lunar, right? Basically, it comes with something like a pad here, which is similar to what Acaia has. And I will show you how it compares with the Acaia slightly later. It comes with a USB wire and a 1 kg, is this 1 kg? Yep, 1 kg sort of scale, I mean a weight, a mass for you to actually calibrate the machine, I believe. And let me see, is there anything up? That's all what we have inside the box. So let's see whether this has some battery left inside when it comes brand new. Right, so let me unwrap this. It's pretty nice, pretty premium. The look, let me show you the comparison look on both. I'll remove the covering pad. Okay, let me show you side by side. So as you can see, side by side, the Acaia Lunar is more squarish. The Lunar is, of course, is a smaller scale, right? And the Felicita ARC is slightly longer, but in terms of width, they are almost exactly the same. And I believe there's a reason why they designed the arc slightly in the elongated way. Okay, let me grab my portafilter and show you guys what do I mean by that. So what I have now is actually a portafilter from Lilith. Right, so if you look at it, if I place my portafilter on the weighing scale, right, you can see that it can sit. The whole portafilter can just sit on the scale itself. But if I do it on the Acaia, okay, let me put on the padding. If I put on the Acaia, I probably can't put it on top. So I think the advantage of the Felicita over the Acaia is technically because some of us will want to dose directly to our portafilter, and this allows you to place your portafilter directly on the scale itself, so that you can actually dose directly into here, and you don't need to use a separate dosing cup. But if you are using a dosing cup, let me grab my dosing cup. Right, this is my dosing cup, the Thomas dosing cup. So if you are using a dosing cup, it doesn't really matter whether you place on the smaller Acaia scale or the Felicita, right? They are both great scale on. But if you want something smaller, definitely the Acaia Lunar is smaller. So let's switch on the. So in terms of switching on, okay, let me power off. The power off is exactly the same, right? So let's try to power on both at the same time. The startup time is exactly the same. The warm-up time, there's basically no warm-up. Warm-up time is about 2-3 seconds. And I think the mode can be changed by double tap, hold. Okay, I got to learn how to do this setting. Same thing here. If I can start the timer on one side. Okay, power off is the same, but double touch on the power button. Double touch on the power button will switch off the Acaia scale as well. So in terms of function, they are really very similar. Right, let's look at the sensitivity of the grinder. So let's now put the 1 kg on top. Oh, sorry, this is 100 gram, not 1 kg. This is exactly 99.9 gram, which is about 100 grams here. So let's move on to the Felicita. Felicita also measure 99.9. So both scale are actually very, very accurate in terms of response time, right? So let's just see again. Almost instantly it measured 99.9 on the Felicita. Right, it is 99.9 as well. And the moment I remove, you can see it goes back to 0. Okay, let's see that again on the Acaia. Right, same thing. The response time is equally fast on both. So I think in terms of the adjustment, yep, I hold it, I can switch the functions around. Right, this is I think just the scale function. So same thing on the Acaia. Right. Right, you can see the function is almost the same. So this is just a weighing function. Right, same on both. Right, I think my battery is wearing off on the Acaia. So technically the two are almost exactly the same in terms of function and in terms of control, in terms of response time, in terms of the brightness. I think the Felicita is slightly brighter. That may be because my Felicita is a lot newer than the Acaia Lunar. So now let me grab some coffee beans and see whether you can pick up the mess of I hope it doesn't die off. So let's see. This is 0.1 gram. This is 0.2 gram. So I can even measure up to 2 coffee beans here. So let's see on the Acaia. Right, Acaia performed the same thing, right? You can see the moment I drop the beans on top. Right, let's see on this side. I think the response time is almost the same on both sides. So both are equally responsive and equally sensitive. Okay, let's put on the portafilter. So this is the part that's going to set both scales apart, because on this one I can actually put my portafilter on top. Right, I can actually rest the portafilter here, but I can't really do it on the the Acaia, because it is shorter, it is more narrow in terms of the width. So it really depends on what you like. And I think the Acaia is selling almost I think it's the high 350 Singapore dollar, whereas the Felicita is only about 200 ish, maybe around $220, $230. So there's a big price gap between these two weighing scale. But in terms of sensitivity, in terms of ability to measure and ability to time, in terms of functions, they are almost exactly the same. Right, so what's going to happen now is I'm going to make a cup of coffee, right, using the Felicita. So I'm just going to use my DF64 as a grinder. Okay, let me grab my coffee beans. And of course, I'm using the Yunnan coffee beans, which I've roasted on the 18th, which is 2 days ago. Right, pretty fresh. May not be that good for espresso, but I guess we can still try it. Smells really amazing, right? Very sweet kind of smelling. So let's dose about 18 grams. So one touch is able to zero out exactly the same as on the Acaia. So let me power off the Acaia because I think my battery is dying off. Right, 18.1 gram. Right, even when I blow wind on the scale itself, the scale is able to pick up the depression, the compression on the surface, and it's able to pick up the mass and the weight because of my breath blowing over the weighing scale. I think it will be the same on the Acaia. Both are very, very sensitive. So let's see. This is 18.1. So let's use my DF64. My current setting is, I think, let me see my setting here. I'm grinding at about 12. So let's see how it goes. By the way, this is my walnut dosing cup adapter. So if you haven't get one, our stock is running low now. We have only 99 sets. One set I keep it for myself. If you haven't got one, do go to my shop. Whether you go to my website or you can go to Etsy to buy this. It comes a pair, right? It comes with a. Oops, I forgot that I have beans inside there. My bad, right? So the walnut empty popcorn is inside too. So I guess I just have to. Let me pick up the beans. My floor is pretty clean, so not to worry. I'll just grind. Let me pick up the beans which I've dropped out. Right, I'm sure this will be less than 18 grams now because I dropped quite a few beans on the floor. Yep, a bit clumsy and forgot that I actually have beans inside. So I tell you what, let's grind the coffee directly into my portafilter. So this will definitely not be accurate because I've forgotten that I should have zero out my portafilter on the Felicita ARC before I actually dose my coffee. So let's just move on to do the extraction. Okay, so let me just, I'm not going to do WDT because the DF64 is actually a pretty consistent grinder which produces very consistent grind size. Let you see, it's actually pretty fluffy. So I'm just going to distribute, and then I'm just going to tamp. And that's it. And of course, I will be using my part screen. Okay, let me clean off slightly. Usually I get a brush handy, sort of brush at the side, so that my side of the portafilter will not be dirty. Right, then I'll put on my part screen. Right, so let me bring over to my quick mill Rubino, and let's do the extractions over there. Right, as the quick mill is a non-PID machine, so normally before you use the machine, you will have to flush it. You can see it is very hot. Flush it for about 5 seconds. Then you'll be ready to make coffee. So let me get my cloth to sort of dry it. Right, so let me grab a glass and my Felicita ARC. Right, so I can now do the timing and the extraction at the same time. So let's just start. Okay, let me just start and pre-infuse. Right, the quick mill comes with a mechanical pre-infusion, which allows you to do a manual pre-infusion. So I will just pull up about 8-second pre-infusion. Right, the flow looks really amazing. We are aiming about, because I did a 10-second pre-infusion, so I'm going to go for 40-second shots. Let's just do 38 seconds. Right, it is slightly on a slightly faster flow rate. So we are extracting about 50-ish kind of 50 plus gram of coffee. And because this is actually waterproof, so it is not afraid of water to get on the scale itself. So normally I prefer to just wipe it, and the underneath, right, let me show you something about the Acaia. Right, you can see that Acaia comes with a very thin sort of a rubber cushion that is double-sided taped onto the back of the Luna, right? Whereas the Felicita comes with a side-by-side kind of tape, and the tape is thicker. I hope it can last longer because my Acaia Lunar, the tape has been dropped off. I don't even know where it dropped it. I think because of moisture, it caused the stickiness of the double-sided tape to wear off, and then now I'm actually rubbing my the back of my scale against my machine, which I'll try to find a sticker tape like this to put on the back so that it will not be scratching my machine. Right, I think on the Felicita, right, this one is done at the side, and the surface area that it grabs on is larger, so I hope that it can stick on for a longer time. Right, if you look at the back, right, the build is almost identical. Right, the finishing touch, everything. It is very identical. This is using a USB-C, right? And this is using an older USB for charging. So that is the main difference between the two. And besides that, in terms of feel, in terms of how it works, it's almost the same on both scale. Right? So let's make a cup of latte. Right, let's remove this to the side. Let's do a purge. Right, Let's steam the milk. The steaming on the quick meal Rubino is really very powerful. Okay, it's done. Right, so let you see the consistency of the milk. It's pretty consistent, right? Almost like wet paint. So let's do a latte art. I'll try my best, right? So let me get a better angle. Okay, I'll tilt my camera. Not too sure whether you can see. Okay, this is quite an awkward angle. Let me turn slightly to this side. Okay, something like that. Not a fantastic latte, but I think it will serve the purpose. Right, so it is not a very long video, right, showcasing the slightly different kind of scale from the company called Felicita. Right, this particular model is actually the Felicita ARC, right, and the Acaia Lunar. Right, maybe you can link in the comment section down below and let me know what you think about this scale. Do you have a scale that is like this, or do you have the same scale that I have, the Acaia Lunar and the Felicita? And if you have one, maybe you can let me know what you think about the scale, what you think about the quality and its function and its price, in terms of the price versus the specs. What do you think about it? So let me know in the comment section down below. And I hope you have enjoyed the video we have today on the quick meal Rubino, right, and the Felicita ARC. So this is CY once again, and thank you for joining me today, right? So I will see you very soon in the next video, whereby I'll still be doing the comparison. I mean, not the comparison. I will still be working on the grinder, right? I would like to compare the DF64 with the Brewer, right? This is the Brewer, right? Not the multi-purpose. This is the Brewer, right? Versus the Baby EK, right? Which is this one from the 3 Bomber, right? So I would really like to compare which one actually give me a better taste, whether this sharp taste flow is actually better, or right, or the not the multi-purpose, or the Brewer is better in terms of being able to bring clarity and sweetness, right? So thank you for joining me today. This is Siwa once again. If you have not subscribed to my channel, do remember to subscribe and hit the like button. I will see you very soon in the next video. Thank you and stay safe.